All right, welcome back to the channel. So, wow, man, Gervonta Tank Davis released some video footage of him beating for about 30 seconds of him shellacking a 147-pound fighter that goes by the name of Ivan Redkash. And Ivan Redkash blasts back at him and he doesn't like it. He responds. So let's talk about that very fun subject in this video. All right, welcome back to this channel. So, welcome back to the channel. Hey, man, you knew it was not going to be long before Gervonta Davis did something that somebody was going to be upset about, man. It just happens on a regular basis. I was like, man, I haven't heard anything from Gervonta Davis in a while, man. Ain't nothing crazy popping off. He's not having a word of war of words with anybody. Just silently sitting on the sideline, getting ready, getting ready to fight Leo Santa Cruz whenever that fight happens. But then yesterday, I'm looking at, the stuff that everybody's looking at, and I see that Gervonta Davis on Instagram is saying that he's going to record his sparring session that's taking place later in the day, and how excited he was to be sparring a 147-pound fighter. That 147-pound fighter winds up being Ivan Redkash, and then the video comes out. I'm not in the business of playing people's videos on the channel, so there's other videos where you can actually, and I'm sure if you are watching this video that you've already seen the footage out there, and with all the other people uploading it to their site, so you'll see that there. But just as a general description of what was going on, from about 30 seconds, about a 30-second clip, you can see Gervonta Davis really wearing in on Ivan Redkash. He's going to the body. He's landing really heavy shots. He at one point in time lands an uppercut on Ivan Redkash. It really looks like he's hurting. He's moving. He starts kind of wobbling around. You can hear somebody out of the background say, "Oh, he's drunk. He's drunk. He's drunk." Right. And then in the video clips out. Right. So what you see in the video is a very big, very strong Gervonta Tank Davis fighting a guy who is a good welterweight, not a top-notch welterweight, right? Ivan Redkash is a guy that just got done. I think he was the last victim of Danny Garcia up there at 147 pounds. So, he's definitely the type of fighter. He's definitely a legit fighter, but not a top-notch world-class fighter. I don't know what the size of the gloves were or any of that stuff, but if the gloves were too heavy, and man, Gervonta Davis hit him with sparring gloves on. But then again, maybe I should hold up, because maybe Gervonta Davis was wearing Tyson Fury's type sparring type padded gloves. But anyway, I'm just joking about that. Anyway, I noticed there's a couple things about that I want to discuss. The first and foremost is that's not too cool, man. Like, why would you're not supposed to do that, Gervonta, right? You're not supposed to put out clips of sparring where you're beating up somebody. That you're not supposed to do that. I thought the saying was that what happens in practice stays in practice. But every once in a while, you see people drop sparring footage where they're beating up on somebody and they make the other guy look really bad. Now, obviously Ivan Redkash is not the level of fighter that Gervonta Davis is, skill wise, strength wise, or whatever status in the sport of boxing. But still, to put that out on him is kind of, man, it's kind of questionable, man. It's kind of questionable. And I could understand why Ivan Redkash would be hot about that, man. You keep hearing a lot of rumors going on about people. I mean, the rumors about sparring is bad enough, but to kind of put edited videos out there where you don't see the whole thing can really make somebody look worse in sparring than they really were. I mean, Ivan Redkash himself might have been working on something in that sparring match where at that particular point, he really wasn't trying to let his hands go. And, because he was trying to work on whatever, right? Deflecting punches with his arms, whatever he could have been working on, because both guys are in their sparring working on their game for each other, right? And this is not immediately before a fight. So, anyway, I can understand that Ivan Redkash said that Gervonta Davis released that tape, and he said that he wouldn't release the tape. that the management or his manager had agreed that there wouldn't be any recording, there wouldn't be any release of the recordings, and that Gervonta Davis, broke that promise, and that's just kind of foul. So yeah, pretty much, dude, I'm with Ivan Redkash on this. That's kind of foul. Now, but looking at Gervonta Davis though in the ring, there's a couple observations that I'll make, and I gotta say, but before I do that, let me definitely say that I think I'm not one of these people that have any doubts about Gervonta Davis being one hell of a fighter. He absolutely positively is. And you can see how strong that dude looks, how big and strong he looked next to Ivan Redkash, who's, again, now, right, Ivan Redkash might be 140, 147 pounder, right? But Gervonta Davis looked like the bigger guy, man, which really does speak to his strength. On the other side of it, though, looking at other fighters during the quarantine, specifically the guys that I'm thinking about are guys like Errol Spence Jr., Terrence Crawford, and I've even seen a little bit of Mikey Garcia, but you can tell, especially out of Errol Spence Jr., that he's using this coronavirus time as essentially a training camp, right? And you can look at his face and it doesn't look puffy like usually with Errol Spence Jr., or at least, now I wouldn't say usually because he's had a lot of fights and it's only been the last few that I've noticed this, but over pretty much since the time that he fought after the Kell Brook fight, you would see him in between fights and his face gets real puffy, and then he has to spend a lot of time, draining himself down to weight. Well, looking at Gervonta Davis, I would have, if I just guessed in what this guy's weighing in that picture, he looks like he's weighing about 155 pounds, 106. He looks like he might be pushing 160, 150. He looks like he might be pushing 150, 55 pounds. Now, I don't want to say 160 pounds because he's so small, but he just looks so thick. Now, on the other hand, I have seen Gervonta Davis look, at least in the face, look even more full in the face than he did. But, right now, clearly he's significantly above the weight that he is supposed to be fighting Leo Santa Cruz at, which is at 130 pounds. So, if this fight, I do believe though, it's July. I don't think that there's going to be a lot of fights that are going to take place this year. I definitely do not believe that the pay-per-view event between Gervonta Davis and Leo Santa Cruz is going to take. I don't think it's going to take this year. I really hope that I'm wrong. Really hope that I'm wrong. I'm hoping, but it's the seventh. It's the 8th month of the year, right? So we got what is it? We have August, September, October, November, December. December left, right? So I guess it's the 7th month. So anyway, we got 5 months left in the year. What is that? So we got 20 weeks. And there's no vaccine, right? And they're just now testing vaccines. It just looks like it's shut down for the year. But if it was coming up this year, I would be worried about whether or not Gervonta Davis was going to actually be able to get down to that 135 pounds from where he is right now. But hopefully, the fact that he is sparring is a good sign. He did say though in the Twitter conversations before, he's like, look, I might skip conditioning, I might skip workouts, but I'm not gonna miss. Man, he was just making some joke. I didn't get it. He said booger, sugar, booger. At the end, I was just he must mean that he's not going to skip an opportunity, to beat somebody up in sparring. So he's going to make sure that he makes the sparring, right? But, the only weakness of Gervonta Davis to date has been this guy's discipline as far as as far as his weight, right? And I'm hoping, that he's closer to fight weight than I think he is. But I do believe that if what he winds up doing is, having to spend his training camp losing weight, that you're going to run into the same type of situation that you had before. And also that it plays very well into Leo Santa Cruz's hands, because Leo Santa Cruz and Mikey Garcia, because Mikey Garcia was the first person to say this, Mikey Garcia, most people don't think that Leo Santa Cruz has any chance to beat Gervonta Davis as is, but if he convinced him obviously to go down to 130, but if he has to drain himself to go down there to 130, that's playing right into Leo Santa Cruz's hands, and that's pretty much the only way that Leo Santa Cruz can beat him. So, I just hope he gets his weight closer and that he does focus on his conditioning and getting his weight down so that he can be the best fighter that he can be, because I really do think he is absolutely positively a terrific fighter. But anyway, that's my take on the matter. You let me know what you think, and with that, I'm out. Peace.